Hi, I'm John, and I'll take you through, hopefully, psychology in a career that I am looking to go into, which is broadcasting. So, benefits of a psychology and a broadcasting career are, for me, I'm looking to go into sports broadcasting, so that's what this is mostly focused on. Um, Knowledge can help understand what stresses can factor pressuring an athlete. As you know, it's hard. They get into slumps. That's cycling slumps and how you can work around slumps. That's what a sports psychologist does. Um, part of the career, you've watched a Red Wings game, you've watched a Tigers game, you've probably watched a Pistons game, you've probably watched everything. You know that they go and they talk to players. They're not just on one world and the players on the other world. They communicate together all the time. They're friends. They know each other. They talk every day. They talk about sports. They talk about family. They talk about friends. And that's something that you can just have a regular conversation with the athlete. The third one there, you can approach athletes that are not exactly the same as you. People look up to these guys as their idols, and you are just some random sports broadcaster. You might just, no one might know you. You could be behind the scenes, or you could be working with the most famous, like Doc Emmerich from NBC Sports, NHL broadcast, and it's just the athletes sometimes are hard to approach. Like, think about just me right now, as I'd be a starting person, and all of a sudden in an entry level job, and all of a sudden I have to go talk to LeBron James. You'd have to have some kind of knowledge of what you want to talk about. Maybe just the right mindset to go up and talk to him. The next one was the theory that I thought went most with this broadcasting career would be the consciousness and attention unit. It's a job where you don't know what's going to happen next. You shouldn't know what's going to happen next, I'd say, because sports are not rigged as far as I'd like to believe. So I would not know what was going to happen next as someone in the, if I was in the truck, they're putting the first down lines on. I don't know when they're going to get the first down. I don't know where it's going to be. I have to be ready to go and put it right away, get ready to go. It's a job that involves not knowing what's going to happen next and the ability to adapt on the fly. It takes a certain attentiveness. You can't slack off, of course, or else people don't know where the first down line is going to be if you're watching a football game, or they don't know what the score is if you're watching a basketball game if you missed a basket. Certainly, like statting a basketball game, that'd be something like that where you don't know what's going to happen next. You have to be ready to just input whatever's going to happen and help out everyone that's either watching it or, following it along on their phone on ESPN. It takes result. You have to be ready for anything. You never know what's going to happen in sports. And just look at, I'd say, Kevin Ware in March Madness there, where I'm pretty sure everyone's seen this by now, where he jumped and his bone came out of his leg. Think about that. You can't show that on TV, so you got to get out of that as fast as possible. And that takes something that you have to be ready for, because I'm sure no one was expecting that to happen when it did. Some career info about it. It's normally a bachelor's. I'm sure the higher up you go, the more education you need. I'm sure Joe Buck doesn't have too much education, if we're going to get honest. His dad was famous, so I think he kind of got the role from that. But, it's normally communications or some kind of media production if you're going to be in the truck, which I don't know if I want to be in the truck yet. I kind of do, I think. Job outlook, it's an ever-expanding industry. Teams get shut down, teams get relocated, new teams come up. It's always just floating around. You're always going to be able to find a job. Sports aren't going away. Maybe different sports are going to come in and out of fashion, but sports are never going away. And the pay, it varies at levels. You're going to look at high-level colleges, Michigan State, Notre Dame, those, and professionals are going to make roughly the same amount of money. If you go down to like a minor leagues or a D3 college, it's going to get I wouldn't say like lower level, because everyone's still high quality athletes if you're competing at a collegiate or professional level, but it would get less pay because they just don't have the amount of funding that the professional team would, because it's a minor league team. So here's an example of an entry-level job. It is a production assistant at the University of Notre Dame. And it says, in this role, you'll be expected to be responsible for executing live broadcasts and supporting video board shows for varsity sports. As assigned by the lead producer, live events, collaborate with the lead producer, live events to assist with the student worker program focused on live event and video board production for all necessary broadcast sports. That's basically it. You're just going to be running the broadcast, set them up, and run the video board during Notre Dame sporting events. You need a bachelor's degree, so a 4-year degree. You need live broadcast experience in your undergraduate, which I would get right now because I'm working SIDs with the SID here. Understanding of NCAA, ACC, and Notre Dame rules. That's just common sense. Experience with broadcast control positions. Again, doing that here. And then experience with Adobe Creative Cloud, which hopefully everyone gets that while they're here because they're all good things that you need to know. That's a good example of an entry-level job and get some experience. This is a dream job. It's not really a dream job. I don't really want to go to Washington State. Not that I have anything against Pullman, Wisconsin, but I don't think that's where I want to be in my life. But this is just a good example. I just went on the NCAA jobs page, so it's basically if any colleges are looking to hire positions, whether it's coaches or jobs like this, like athletic directors, communications directors, broadcast directors, stuff like that. It's really good if you're interested in that. It's a really good thing to just get on there, start like looking for things like the Notre Dame job if you want to get experience later. But anyway, this is a communications assistant. This is like a nice job that would be not a dream job, but again, just a solid job before finding a dream job. This was the best job they had up right now. It's not really a time to flip around during the job season. Anyway, it is a bachelor's degree that is required in public relations or communications or marketing or any other relevant field. You remember we learned that last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember, where relevant field, basically if you have the qualifications that you think you need and you can show that you do, that you're good. You need a driver's license, be willing to work evenings and weekends because of course that's when sports are. And then available 27 to assist with emergency crisis management situations related to Washington State athletics. I feel like that wouldn't be normal, but I mean this year they did fire their football coach because he didn't get vaccinated. So I guess that would be a 24/7 crisis that probably would need to be dealt with as the communications assistant or the communications director, and that's probably why they don't have one right now, if I had to guess. But anyway, they said the preferred qualifications are master's degree, D1 work experience with an SID office, and with several sport assignments. So know your sports, have your practice. That'd be the Notre Dame job. Working experience that demonstrates the ability to multitask and work with a high-paced work and event environment. That's, of course, again, like the Notre Dame working with a D1 college, because this is a D1 college, so it's going to be a higher work, higher quality with athletes and play. And expectations would be higher too. Basically, know how to use Adobe Creative Cloud again. That's important. Know how to stat stuff. Make sure your stats are right. And then just know you can do your job. And then in the course for the future, I'd say research psychology. It's just something that will help with your future no matter what, if you're looking to go into psychology or any field, because it helps with data collection, which is necessary. Just collecting data is always good to have practice with. Know how to perform a study if you ever have to. I probably wouldn't have to in this career, but you never know. And then also interpret data. That's really important. I don't think that, it's not just a psychology thing. Like, say if I was statting and I wanted to look at stats and like say sabermetrics, that's baseball, but still, if I can look and interpret the data that I've been collecting as a statistician, then yeah, that's what I want. That's how you help people, and that's what I want to do with this career. It's not just help people, but just make people happy. Think about all the times that you've enjoyed watching sports with your families or yourselves or your friends, and think all those people that are in the background that you don't know, not Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, not Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels on Sunday Night Football, but all the guys in the truck that they only say, hey, we're thankful for you this Thanksgiving, and that's it. That's all they ever say to them. When someone's retiring or it's their 50th year working, then they get recognition, but you never hear about them. You only hear about the two main guys in the booth. So that's why I think that, that's what this career is about. Thanks for listening. It's been 10 minutes. It's pretty long, but yeah, thank you for this. I enjoyed it.